Hello there, you're watching our television. This is Daily Business. I am Pamudha Katugampala. Our top stories tonight. President pledges to implement the business development in the northern province. Sri Lanka tourism registers a robust upturn in 2023. Welcome to the State of Business if you just happen to join in. Now let's have a detailed look at the stories. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has underscored the critical importance of business development in the northern province, emphasizing its role in contributing to the national economy. The president said this while engaging with over 300 representatives from industrial, fishing and farming sectors at the Jaffna District Secretariat during the weekend. During the meeting, President Wickremesinghe announced a series of initiatives aimed at fostering economic growth in the northern province. He expressed commitment to providing comprehensive solutions to the challenges faced by businessmen in the northern province. President Wickremesinghe directed officials to establish a dynamic agency dedicated to resolving business-related issues in the province. Notably, industrialists appealed for the establishment of an industrial zone in the region. The president also met with the academic staff of Jaffna University, unveiling transformative changes for the university system. President Wickremesinghe declared a swift allocation of funds to address health and education challenges in the north, emphasizing a priority focus on identified needs. This commitment was articulated during a discussion at the Jaffna District Secretariat, where the president engaged with representatives from the health and education sectors as well as the youth community. Pledged initiatives include allocating land for the teaching hospital in Jaffna and funds for recruiting teachers to fill vacancies. Nearly 300 individuals attended as the president addressed concerns and offered solutions. President Wickremesinghe emphasized his commitment to integrating the northern province into the national economy, urging all to actively contribute to this initiative. During the meeting, a senior professor from the University of Jaffna presented a proposal addressing deficiencies with the university and providing recommendations for enhancing its resources. Notable figures attending the discussions included Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda, MP Angajan Ramanathan, along with academics from the University of Jaffna. Now, Sri Lanka's tourism industry registered a robust upturn, surpassing over $2 billion in earnings with the arrival of over 1.48 million visitors in 2023. This marks the highest revenue and influx of visitors since 2019, according to the data released by the central bank recently. Data from the central bank reveals an impressive 82% surge in tourism earnings compared to the previous year. In November, earnings reached over $200 million, witnessing a substantial year-on-year increase compared to last year. Initially projecting to attract 1.55 million tourists and $3 billion in earnings, Sri Lanka Tourism revised the target to 2 million amidst a surge in arrivals in July. Looking ahead to 2024, Sri Lanka Tourism has set ambitious targets, aiming to welcome 2.5 million tourists and earn $4.6 billion. The long-term strategy envisions increasing arrivals to 5 million and generating an impressive $21.6 billion within 5 years. Part of this strategy involves welcoming high-end tourists, with plans to lift the average spending per visitor to $4,000. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority aims for 2.5 million visitors to spend over $500 per day, focusing on attracting high-spending repeat visitors. Stay tuned for more stories after this short commercial break. Welcome back here with State of Business. Now, the Defence Secretary of Pakistan, Lieutenant General Hamoud Zaman Khan, held a crucial meeting with President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat recently. The high-level discussion centered around bilateral relations and regional security issues. The meeting saw a warm welcome extended by President Wickremesinghe to the distinguished guest from Pakistan. The Defence Secretary is in Sri Lanka to participate in the 4th Sri Lanka-Pakistan bilateral defence dialogue at the Defence Headquarters complex in Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte. In attendance were key figures including Minister of State for Defence Pramita Bandara Tennakon and the Secretary of the Minister of Defence, General Kamal Gunaratne. Following the meeting with President Wickremesinghe, the Defence Secretary of Pakistan engaged in a separate discussion with President's senior advisor on national security, Sagar Ratnayaka. This diplomatic interaction is part of the ongoing Fourth Sri Lanka-Pakistan bilateral defence dialogue. Meanwhile, the Securities and Exchange Commission has given the green light to a groundbreaking regulatory framework, paving the way for the issuance and listing of infrastructure bonds on the Colombo Stock Exchange. This move aims to attract both foreign and local investments in vital infrastructure projects, ultimately fostering economic development. It aimed at raising capital for projects including roads, rail, water, management, waste management, airports, seaports, natural disaster protection and other vital projects. The SEC emphasizes the importance of developing a market for infrastructure bonds to secure long-term capital for these essential projects. The SEC conducted a thorough study of comparable jurisdictions where infrastructure bonds listed in capital markets successfully financed major development projects. The regulatory framework for infrastructure bonds includes provisions for investor protection, rigorous due diligence, and stringent disclosure and reporting requirements. SEC Chairman Faisal Saleh stated that the SEC has created an opportunity for government and private sector companies to finance infrastructure projects through these bonds. Now, former Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka Chairperson Janaka Ratnayaka has raised concerns about the country's economic outlook, predicting a further contraction of 4% this year. The former PUCSL chairman said in a media statement last Friday. Ratnayaka highlighted that the economy contracted by 9% last year and questioned the government's decision to impose VAT increment on top of the contracting economy. Ratnayaka emphasized that such a move could lead to an escalation of malnutrition and exacerbate the economic downturn, resulting in serious long-term consequences. Ratnayaka stressed that tax revenue can only be generated when people have the means to earn an income. Taxing those without income, he pointed out, would leave them without basic necessities such as food and drink. Ratnayaka mentioned that long-term issues such as nutritional deficiencies and educational gaps could pose a significant threat, with repercussions manifesting in the years to come. Ratnayaka called for the establishment of a system to ensure public access to 3 meals a day without resorting to taxing the downtrodden. He stressed that the development should be achieved through government revenue generated from sustainable economic activities, avoiding heavy reliance on loans. Stay tuned for the stock update. Welcome back, you're watching State of Business. Now the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The All Share Price Index gained 11.25 points to close at 10,750.36, and the S&P SL 20 gained 12.25 points to close at 3,082.40. The turnover was 0.7 billion rupees and over 42 million shares were traded. Coming up next are Forex rates. And that's it for tonight. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.